Hello my viewers and even my fellow caregivers. I'm glad that once again you are here, you're there listening to us and hearing our story from Hope and Live organization, where we turn our pains into purpose. And our message to you is that there is hope, and when you have hope, it's an oxygen for you to live. So today I come to share my story about my daughter, Serah Muchai. Shirou was born on 28th of August 1989, and she came silently without even crying. And the cause of the cry is the reason why we are here speaking about our story. So Shirou did not cry. She was tied by the umbilical cord around the neck, and so she suffered from what we call birth asphyxia. And from then now there was that what we call brain damage, and that affected the entire systems in her body. Shirou was put in an incubator for 2 weeks, and even when she came out, she lacked what we call sucking reflex. So Shirou from then developed the challenges in terms of breathing, and just some weeks later she started doing what we call conversions, and from then Shirou has been dependent. So that is why we say for 26 years, Shirou has been dependent on us. She has been our 24/7 care, and we celebrate her because God has given us to us for a purpose. And so I want to talk about what happened. After that, we would enroll for therapy, and at the age of 2, we enrolled for private therapy. And at the age of 17, we called our therapist who was to come and do Shirou therapy, and she broke her femur. And that really broke our hearts. And it was not easy to see her being put under hip spiker, trying to feed her when she's lying on the bed, and trying to do so many things. It was not an easy fracture. Again, as I say, Shirou is under anticonvulsants. She converses very many times. And Shirou, again, sometimes goes through a time when she is unable to pass stool in the right time. So you find that she can only maybe poo-poo like once a week, which has been a challenge because of constipation. And the reason why she suffers that constipation is because she feeds on breaded food, and at the same time she is immobile. So you can imagine what happens with the bowel movement, that it may lack that kind of fast peristalsis that would excrete the soonest possible once the food is digested. So we, however, know how to handle it. We have sought medical help, and there are few things that we do for her to be able to pass through, and we thank God. So Shirou feeds like 3 times a day. So she takes breakfast, she takes lunch, and then she takes supper. We bread for her everything, including her lunch, her supper. Everything is breaded. But you can be sure it was tough. Before we could even manage to buy a breader, this is what we used to do. We would use a sieve. And would have this spoon, and we put the fruit here, and we sieve. You cut it into small pieces. And then now you start so that it becomes small, and it becomes edible, palatable for Shirou. So you can imagine, like for 10 years, the same amount of fruit I would bread. Yeah? But now God is gracious. We are able to use, we can bread the food, and then now I can put for Shirou that which you'll be surprised that she'll be able to eat almost all this content that we have put on the table. She's a good feeder. This time we widen the material. We press it more wide. It becomes more wider, so that you don't pour the food on her. You just improvise. I know there are better things that we can use, but it's good to improvise. You don't have to struggle to get very big feeders or expensive feeder. Just get these small sized tires, and they serve the purpose. We are going to see how Shirou first realizes that you're putting food on her. She'll first feel the taste, and then she'll know whether it is good for her to eat or not to eat. So I place it on her mouth. Like that. You can see she changes the face, the facial expression. She first feels it in her mouth. She feels it in her mouth, and later she will swallow. In the event that the food is hot, Shirou will make a laughter, and that is when you shall know it's hot. So what do I advise house helps to do? They put it on the back of their hands and taste. So they taste with the skin, and normally that's where they know whether it's hot or it's very cold. So again, you have to be very patient, but we can be sure she'll finish this bowl. If she doesn't vomit to her mom, that's how sometimes she'll behave, like she's vomiting, but you have to be patient. But as I said, it's possible that just when you're in the middle or when you're in the last spoon, she can do the same and pour all the content, and you just have to do it again. You have to prepare the meal again for her without giving up. You don't give up. Don't give up, because this is God's work, and God never did a mistake to give you a child of this kind, or even to make you pass through what you're passing through, maybe with that aged parent, or maybe with that sick person. Just be patient. Always think of what might happen, what is going to happen when this patient gets well. So for us, we celebrate when Shirou is healthy. We celebrate when she is able to eat well. We celebrate when we see her getting to this age. Mostly in the morning, we give her porridge, we give her Weetabix. Sometimes we mix plantain with an egg yolk. We make a good breakfast. We also make sweet potatoes. We bread them with milk, and she is able to eat well. Lunchtime, we sometimes give her this fruit. We keep changing, or we give her a normal meal but still breaded. We put potatoes, we put cabbage, we put peas, and peas is what doesn't lack in any food, and carrots don't lack in any food. Every food that she eats should have carrots and should have peas. So what varies are maybe sometimes we put bananas, raw bananas we add, and then we cook them, or we may put potatoes, English potatoes, and we put cabbage. We can put stinging natto. We can put different kinds of vegetables, but be sure Shirou will feed. She also takes water, and we give her water 4 times a day. We do her in the morning, we do her in the afternoon, and in the evening, and again at night. So she takes water like 4 times. This is how we introduce a feeder that is going to help her not to get wet when you are giving her water. So we just get this, it's a good towel, a clean one. You fold it well, and then you place it around the neck. You place it around the neck, and we become innovative, because she cannot be given water like this. You're going to pour a lot of water on her, since she takes time. So this is what we do. We have this kind of a scooping object. It scoops the water, and then when we press it now here, we allow her now to swallow the water slowly by slowly. Yes, she takes time. You have to be very patient, and we give her 4 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and when it's about time for her to go to bed. So you see how she will pour, and you have no control on when she will swallow. So you have to be very patient with her and allow her to remove some, but you have to ensure she takes water. We ensure she feels loved, and we ensure that we are not struggling to feed her, to give her water. We are just patient with her, cautious that at the end of the day she will not feel harassed. She'll feel that the person taking care of her loves her. Actually, much of the business of the evening is done by the father. The father is the one who gives her water, in the night, every evening. It helps him to connect with her. And we bond more. So there are times now you have to come and just do it at the back like this, so that she feels something is happening on her, and you move on, you continue. So we do it slowly by slowly, being very patient, and that's why it can take time. Shirou is under diapers because she can't not tell when she wants to urinate or even do the rest and do poo-poo. So she puts diapers, and we change her like 3 to 4 times a day. However, in addition to diaper, there are a few things we add, like we put around her a certain towel so that she doesn't soil herself in the event that urine passes through the diaper. So we make sure that she's safe enough that she cannot wet where she is, and that has made our work very easy. You can be sure that when you're using these diapers, you must dispose them well. So we have innovated. We don't have to go for very expensive container to be putting them. So we usually put them in this container, and then we throw them here. So once this bucket is full, we now take it and we take it where we are supposed to store until we dispose it later. Because you have to be wise. You can be sure the many pampers we have used throughout in those many years of taking care of Shirou, and she's always on diapers. So I usually place them here. I put them in that bucket. I put them in this sack. When I put them in this sack, I then put it. This room is particularly for diapers. So like these diapers are for like a year. From January, we have been having these diapers, and this is what we shall do. Because we tried to burn them. We tried to dispose them differently, and it was not doable. So we decided to be storing them here. This is a place where we are sure they shall not be of any environmental hazard. It's difficult to say that diapers, you cannot burn them because they don't fully get burnt. Again, if you put them in the latrine, the latrine will get full. Can you imagine over the years, if this is just from January, what about now it is in a year, in more than 2 years and 3 years, the latrine would be full. And so we have always kept them here, and then later we shall dispose them. We shall take them to our land in the village in Muranga. We shall dig a big hole, and then we shall cover it with the soil. So in that case, we are safe that we have not spoiled the environment. At the same time, we are sure that they will be not of any harm to our neighborhood. I can show you something that we had thought would solve our problem, but unfortunately it never did. So we thought this would help, and we were trying to think of what can be a permanent solution to the diapers that we have been having all the years, and we thought it can burn them and totally make them be completely destroyed, such that they will not be a problem to us anymore. And we went to a certain welding home where they do welding actually within Thika. And when we purchased it, we thought it's going to solve the problem, but unfortunately it never did. And so at one time I tried to dry them so that I finally burned them, and it still did not work. You can see the much urine a diaper can carry, and then you're trying to dry it even so that you can burn it, and that became very difficult. So I urge maybe the environmentalists, including myself because I'm an environmentalist, on how we can really get a solution. So I believe this can be a real challenge to the caregivers, that you have diapers. Me, I'm lucky, I'm only using like 4. I'm sure there are others who use even more than 4 per day. And you can imagine if I've stored that for just a year. What about other people who are using more than that I've mentioned? It can be really a difficult situation, something that can become a real problem, that you don't know where exactly to keep those diapers. When you put them to those who collect luggages, the people that
pick them along the road. There are times that you feel they may miss the day to pick, or 2 days. And what happens? Those dogs that go around, they are likely to go and tear the package and make the diapers to be scattered. And that is what we felt that was not fair for us. How do we get our diapers scattered around the roads? And this is for our child. And so we were trying to look for a solution. And therefore we bought this, but it didn't work for us. I am looking forward to hearing somebody give me opinion. If you are hearing me, wherever you are, let's have a solution, and let's give people, those who are caregivers, a way to solve that challenge of how do we dispose diapers.
So as I take care of Shirou, there are a few things that I do, the routine that I do. In the morning, she wakes up between 7:30 and 8:30. You will find her awake, and that is when we bring her from her bed, we bring her to the sitting room, and then in the evening, she usually sleeps between 10:30 and 11, depending on what chores we need to do on her. And so we take her again upstairs, and she goes to her bed. So when she wakes up in the morning, what we start with is we usually brush her teeth. So we have a certain small garment that we use. So what we do, we usually use, this is her toothbrush. This is her toothbrush. We just bought it from the supermarket, and we have to be innovative. So this is what we do. We just take the toothpaste. We usually use this kind of toothpaste because it keeps the teeth clean and it removes any bad smell. Then we just put the paste on this toothbrush of hers, and then we dip it into the water a bit, and we put it on the mouth or the teeth, and we press it this way. You can't use a toothbrush because a toothbrush can hurt her. So this is what the kind of explanation we give. So we take her out, and you press all the paste on the teeth, and then you brush her like this. Just brush her in a way that you're able to get into every corner of the mouth. You rinse using the water, and then this is what we do. We put again the same toothbrush into the water, and Shirou cooperates. So I rinse her very well. So this one we do it every morning and every evening before she goes to bed, and Shirou remains clean. The inner teeth have cavity because we took some time before we got to know how to do the brushing. At the same time, we think there was an effect of the drug she was taking at the early age. So they contributed to cover cavity. So I cannot use a normal toothbrush to brush her. With Shirou, as I had said earlier, we don't anymore involve therapists, because the last time we involved therapists, that is when her femur was broken. So we decided, let's keep it cool. We can do therapy by ourselves because we had been trained, and so there are few things that we can do on her body just to make it relaxed and manageable. Shirou is a beautiful girl, very beautiful, and we look at her and we see how her personality. She's a joyous girl. She's ever smiling, ever happy. She's beautiful, as you'd see. Her hair is a very good hair. It's curly. We like it. She actually has the best hair in this house, and we also like how she's not able to pretend. When Shirou is sick, you will see her. She's sick. You will see. When she is unhappy, you will see by her facial expressions. She likes music. So in the event you put music for Shirou and she doesn't dance, and she doesn't try to verbalize it, then you know that Shirou could be having a problem. Shirou knows how to, I think she's very sensitive to noise. Very sensitive, that's what we realize. So you are very careful not to bang items or even scream, or even to put somebody who is crying around her. She hears somebody who is crying, she will also cry. She's able to, I feel that is the word we can use. She's emotionally intelligent. She's able to read the mood of the house. In the event you get to the house and you're not happy, you touch her, you're not talking to her, Shirou will realize that you're not in the right mood. So I think she's more sensitive. She's strong in her senses to feel what is around her. She's emotionally strong, because I can't talk of her seeing, even if you tell her, take this, she's not able. So you look at her and you see, you are not very sure whether she can follow the hand. She can't follow the hand. She's unable. So, but I feel her hearing is quite sharp, although again she's not able to have that ability to interpret what you're telling her. But she knows herself by her name. If you call Shirou, she will be able to turn around. If you call her mom, she knows our voices. So Shirou, to me, she's a girl whom you handle with wisdom, because in the event you don't handle her with care, you are likely to see the consequences with immediate effect, because she'll shout, she'll cry. She cries oftenly, but to her, the most of the time, she's ever smiling and ever happy. And we give God all the glory. We give God all the glory because of giving her to us, and even giving us the ability to take care of her. There are lessons learned from the way we have been taking care of Shirou. One, the entire family has been very involved, from the father to the siblings. They are very involved. And so I'm happy that somehow it has been easy for me, because of the involvement of all the family members, that nobody gets weary in terms of handling her, and everybody knows what she needs, and they know the food she eats, they know the food she has to take and what time. So to me, schedules are also very important. That's the second thing. I've learned it's good that you do schedule for a child who cannot communicate. She may not say she's thirsty. So we have learned to know how to put schedules, that we know this is the time we give her water, this is the time we feed her, this is the time we change her. And you look through the hours, if one is alone, it's very involving. So to me, the third thing I've learned is that burnouts are real. You can easily get worn out, especially if you're doing other duties, you're doing other businesses, you're doing other chores for the family. It can be very draining. You can feel very tired. So I hear other caregivers, when they talk of what they go through, 100% agree. It is not easy to bring up a special child. Sometimes I think of what exactly do other people think? What does the government think when they are talking about what to give to those children, the capitation for children, for persons enabled differently who go to school? What do they think about children who don't go to school, and they could be even more expensive to rear? I want to say that disability is very expensive. Shirou will take special food. Shirou will have diapers. Shirou will have somebody to take care of her all the time. If she was in the regular school, by now she would have finished university. But look, all those years she needs a caregiver. So it can be very expensive, very involving. You can imagine even her medication. You can imagine even transporting her from one place to another. I imagine parents who do not have means of transport, what they go through. There is that possibility of feeling you get into burnout, and somehow there can be children being neglected. Actually, I don't blame those parents who say they have locked their children and they have gone to work, because what else do they expect? What else do you expect? Maybe they have other siblings. Those children need to be taken care of. They need to earn a living. They need to go and make money. How else will they do? They will definitely lock their children inside and go and look for money to take care of the family. So sometimes it's not easy to understand. And you who neighbors a person with a child like Shirou, I pray that you can decide to give a hand. Be there to serve them. Be there to give them an opportunity. Just tell them, today I would wish to stay with your daughter, and you go to the market. You can approach them and ask them what are their needs. So to me, why I give my story is because I want to encourage somebody. At the same time, I want to inform the society. I want to tell people this journey can never be easy. And we have realized that most of the children are being brought up by single parents. So you can imagine what a journey it can be. I pray that God may help us, you and me, who is a relative to a person who has a child with disability. Be close to them. Be there to give them psychological support. Be there to give them psychosocial support. If you are a neighbor, you are a relative, you are a friend to a person who has a child who has disability, please get there to them and reach them and help them. At the same time, for us who have children enabled differently, be there to speak out. Tell people what you're in, what you're going through. Don't hide that child. She's a gift from God. And nobody really applied to get such a baby. Nobody applied to get such a child. So speak it out and tell people, this is where I am. I'm having this kind of a child. She is enabled differently. She cannot go to school. And I would wish that if you're in a position to help. So I pray that people who are out there, let us speak it out. Let us talk of the struggles we go through. Let us talk of the challenges of bringing up a child who has disability. Let us express ourselves. I feel the more we speak about it, the more people will think about us, and the more they will see the need even to give support. It can be physical, it can be financial, it can be social. You may give. Don't consider it retro. It will go a long way to give encouragement to that parent. It will go a long way to help that caregiver. So I'm glad and I want to say I appreciate all those caregivers, all those house helps who are also taking care of children like Shiru, not forgetting all those that have really been in my life and I've been able to take care of Shirou for those 26 years. I have not done it alone. I've done it with someone. I've done it with a girl who may have come from Western, from Mukabani. I've done it with those girls from places like Moranga, where I come from. I've done it with girls from different places whom I can actually count and say, these are girls who helped me go through the journey. So I really appreciate and I pray that even as you're given this load, consider it as a divine call. It's a sacred work, and do it with minimum supervision, and appreciate that these children are a gift from God. So wherever you are, I pray that you feel appreciated, and may God bless you so much. Thank you for hearing me. My message to you is that you can turn your pain into purpose, and there is hope. Hope is our mission. Hope and live. Have more hope for yourself. Have more hope for the person, for the child you're taking care of. If they can go to school, take them to school. If they can do some other things that can grow them, please do it. And don't get discouraged. It is living one day at a time and celebrating the wins. Thank you for listening to me.